I'll be glad when the molt is over. Must have been a typo because I couldn't just want 5 jalapenos, so he bought 5 pounds. I'll tell you what I'm an expert at: cutting myself. Oh man. Good morning, friend. Thanks for stopping by today. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Elena. Welcome. Let's have a slow and lazy Sunday, shall we? First things first, though, we have to feed these girls. They are not laying anything right now. I'll be glad when the molt is over. On this lazy Sunday, I decided to make a Dutch baby pancake for breakfast because it wouldn't be a lazy Sunday if I was standing at the stove flipping pancakes, now would it? The Dutch baby is easy to make. I think it's the same ingredients as a pancake, but instead of making individual pancakes, I put about 3 tablespoons of butter in the bottom of this cast iron pan, pop it in the oven, I think about 400 degrees, let the pan heat up and the butter melt, and then I pour the Dutch baby batter in, and 17 minutes later I have a puffy Dutch baby pancake. I like serving my Dutch baby pancake the same way as pancakes. Well, actually not, because I do put powdered sugar on along with the maple syrup. Yesterday, for the first time, we tried making apple cider and it came out great. So here I'm just going to put some powdered sugar on the Dutch babies. I like to serve mine with syrup. The mister likes to add butter to his, so I'm just going to leave his until he comes in and he can put whatever he wants on them. For the apple cider, it was pretty easy to make. I got a bag of apples from the free produce place. I don't know how many pounds there were, but it was a good size bag. I simply washed the apples very well in warm water to get any wax or residue that might be on it. There was really not much on them. I took the stems off and I quartered the apples. I didn't even core them. I put them in my crock pot, covered them with water. I added an orange sliced and 4 cinnamon sticks. I let it boil for 3 hours, then I removed all the solids, added some brown sugar and let it boil for another hour. And that's it. Homemade apple cider. So delicious. Something else that I did need to get to today is refilling some of my 5-gallon buckets. This sugar has been on my dining room table for a couple of weeks now. I have not been feeling well, and I'm feeling a little better, but still not myself. I get tired very easily. I do not know why they put this opening in the front of the bag like they did. It's kind of a Ziploc type opening, so it is resealable, but look at the odd place they put it. I think they should have put it right at the top. That's just my personal opinion. Here I am, struggling with this opening. Why? Why are they having such a hard time? It took me forever to get the sugar out of this bag. I was just trying to get every last bit of it. It was collecting in the top of the bag, and I was going back and forth and back and forth. Anyways, eventually I got most of it out. Oops, nope, there's still some left. I decided that I would just take matters into my own hands. There were some big clumps, so I'm just trying to get them broken up. And here I just use scissors to cut the bag. Why didn't I just do that from the beginning? So much easier. Done with the sugar. So let's deal with the flour. I have this gallon bag in there because before I had gamelid on this bucket, I used to have one of those ones you have to pound down, and I could never get it pounded all the way. And I didn't want it pounded all the way because I have a hard time opening it. So just to make sure that no little insects would get into my flour, I would bag them in gallon-size bags, stack them one on top of the other, and then pound that lid on to the best of my ability. Now that I have gamelids, I just put it directly in the bucket. This flour and some rice have been in my chest freezer for about 48 hours. And then the mister took them out for me about 24 hours ago. You want to make sure there's no condensation at all in them. But the reason I had them in the freezer to begin with is to just make sure that any little insects and their larvae are dead. And that's just because these are for long-term storage. I did have some flour in this jar beforehand, so I took it out before refilling because I just wanted to make sure that I had the oldest flour on top and that got used first. And I did forget to empty the gallon bag into this bucket, but I will get around to doing that. Done and done. what I could not store is this 25-pound bag of jasmine rice. It's my favorite rice. And this 20-pound bag of just regular long grain rice. The reason I can't store them right now is because, well, I have a 5-pound bucket already of jasmine rice and a 5-pound bucket of long grain rice. I had 2 other buckets, but I bought a 45-pound bag of dog food for Tuxedo, and so we use those buckets to put his food in. So right now we don't have anywhere to store these 2 bags, and I am a little bit concerned because I don't want to leave them like this in the pantry room. So what to do? I think I will elevate them and keep them somewhere else. Maybe on the back of my kitchen counter or something like that. But or I will see if I can work it out so that I can put it on, nope, I don't even want to put it on a top shelf, you know, a higher shelf in the pantry room, because you guys saw what happened already with the Jiffy cornbread mix. We did take care of that little critter, but yeah, I don't want to take a chance. So I will let you know what I decide to do with this. These are in here now. The one in the back here is regular long grain rice. This one is jasmine rice. The one back there is empty. It's supposed to be sugar, so I need to get another box. This is sugar as well, and the flour that I just refilled I put back there, and then Tuxedo and then I moved the older flour to the front. The rices are up there on the fridge. The mister did that for me. I need to get 2 more 5-gallon buckets with screw-on gamma lids. This little girl just loves company. Right, Ivy? Hello. Come here, girl. I will sit here with her for a sec. Come on, girlie. It's cold out here. You better come on. Hello. Come on. Oh, girly girl. We didn't really need the fire this afternoon, so we let it die down, but there are quite a few embers, and I'm going to go ahead and put some wood in there and get it started up. I'll leave it at that. So I asked the mister to bring home 5 jalapenos the other day, and he read my text and figured it must have been a typo because I couldn't just want 5 jalapenos, so he bought 5 pounds. So after I use the 5 jalapenos that I wanted, I'm going to have to figure out a way to preserve the rest of these jalapenos. I really didn't know what to make for dinner today. I didn't want anything too involved because lazy Sunday, right? I mean, I just wanted to hang out. And let's see, 2 days ago, I opened a package of, remember the buy one, get one free? So that second package of breasts with back, the one that I got free, I used 2 of the breasts for dinner 2 days ago. We had leftovers yesterday, and we're having chicken again today. So what I'm going to do with this is, it's a big breast, so I'm going to try to cut out the back, and then without cutting myself, and then split this breast into 2, and I think we're gonna make it an easy, super easy chicken parmesan. I am not an expert deboner at all. As you can see, there's quite a bit of the breast that was left on this bone. I could try to take it off, but I'll tell you what I'm an expert at: cutting myself. So, okay, I'm gonna stop here. All right, so here's this breast, and I'm just cutting it in half. It's kind of wants to do the tenderloin, but that's okay. It's good enough. Split this one a little bit, kind of thick on this end. Okay, so let's get to making this chicken parmesan. But first, we're gonna put this bone and the skin in this bag. This bag has some celery ends and bones from another project. I see some carrots in here as well. I try to save as much as I can of vegetable scraps and bones so that I can make broth. So that's one of 2 bags that I have going right now. As soon as I have 2 full bags, then I will make some broth. Okay, what seasoning are we going to use? All right, I am going to use salt and pepper, onion, garlic, paprika, and this is a Italian dressing that I made the other day. What do I have in here? Thyme, parsley, red pepper flakes, oregano. That might be it. So that was left over from two days ago's meal, so I'm just going to use that. Finish it up. Okay, I'm going to sear this on both sides. I will season the other side once it's in the pan. Trying to make it easy. I don't have any breadcrumbs, so this is not going to be actually chicken parmesan. I found a recipe and it's called chicken mozzarella. So that's what we're having, chicken mozzarella. It's very similar to chicken parmesan. I always put half an onion. The recipe calls for a whole onion. And it calls for 4 cloves of garlic. These cloves are pretty large. So I'm going to chop these and add them and give the onion a minute to get a little bit translucent, and then I'll just throw these garlic in. So this wasn't a plan. I did not know what I was going to make for dinner today. So I don't have all the things I need. I don't have crushed tomatoes, I don't think. But I do have this can of traditional spaghetti sauce. This was part of a box of canned goods. Let me see. December 28th, 2026. So this has a while to go. But it was part of a box of produce that my in-laws gave us, and we just went through it. Ice machine. We just went through it and picked things that weren't too expired, and things that we would use. What we wouldn't use, we gave to some people who would use it. I carried a bag of canned goods in my car for a while till the right opportunity presented itself. And when it did, I gave it to a homeless person. She was a lady that I was outside of Dollar Tree, and she was very grateful for it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. I am not sure if this, I don't know how flavorful it is. I might just give it a taste and then add some spices if I think it needs it. Oh, I can see spices in there. I am going to taste it though, just to make sure. Out of basil. I put salt and pepper in it. It is a little bit bland. And we'll get some of our homegrown basil and add that. Hopefully, it'll give it a little flavor. I'm not going to do much more. I'm just going to add the sliced mozzarella that I have, put some Italian spices on top, and put it in the broiler, and that'll be it. Definitely tastes better. Is that enough? That's enough. It's going into the broiler now. I should say under the broiler. And I am going to make some pasta. Forgot to put the Italian spices on top. Okay, this is the pasta that we will make, rotini. Reason being, I would prefer it with spaghetti, but this is the only pasta right now that I have that's chickpea pasta. So when I make pasta, I usually mix the chickpea with the regular flour because I do not like this. But the Mr. doesn't do well with this. He gets bloated and doesn't feel well. So but it's okay if I mix half and half. So that's what I'm going to do. And he just came in with this. We got, there's a friend of ours that makes sourdough bread, and he just gives it to all his friends. And so I'm excited to have this for tonight's dinner. And so let's work on the pasta. I should have waited a little bit before putting this in the oven. Because the pasta is not ready. Oh man, we're gonna have to redo this. Okay, that's better. Well, the day has come to an end. I am in bed now. I am getting ready to do some crocheting, and I'm watching a movie. It's a movie about the first woman to swim the English Channel. Let me show you what I am crocheting. I don't know if any of you crochet, but I just, as soon as fall rolls around, I am crocheting something. Except for this year, since I started doing the temperature blanket or temperature throw back in December. I've been crocheting steadily since then. But as far as completing projects, I make these washcloths for people, for my friends. It's something that's easy, fast, nice gifts, housewarming gifts, or just because gifts. I used to do these for washing dishes, but I don't anymore. Even though they have, you know, a little surface texture that allows you to scrub, it seems to waste the liquid soap. I don't know. It just seems that way to me. It doesn't stay soapy very long, and I seem to use a lot more soap. And so now I just use these for wiping the counters or anything like that. Here's some more. These are a little bit bigger ones, and that's what I'm using these for. I think I have enough. Let me see. I have 1, 2 in the kitchen, so that's 5. That's 7. And these 3, which are a little bit thicker yarn, and also the pattern that I sewed it in crocheted made it a little thicker. So I have about 10 of these, and I think that's enough. What I've been making for washing the dishes is these. These are excellent. Granted, they're a little bit difficult. Well, not if I say difficult, but maybe challenging to crochet with because of all the little, you know, pieces that are sticking up. But it's not that hard, and you're basically doing it by feel. But I will tell you, these hold on to the soap. I put 3 or 4 pumps of soap on this, and I can wash a sink load of dishes. No kidding. And they hold up very well in the wash. I've already washed one of them. I just throw it in with my towels, and it works perfectly. It dries well, and it comes back. I wish I had that one to show you, but really it doesn't look any different than it does here. These are new ones that I haven't used yet. So I will always have these. I love the idea of having them because they are reusable, and I don't have to keep tossing something that I'm washing dishes with. And then a couple of nights ago, I started doing some pot holders. I have 2 of these already. They work very well. Actually, I think they're these colors right here. I have a yellow and a blue, just like this. And I made this red one, and I'm going to make one more, and I think I'm going to make it in this green. Or this one. No, not this one. This one. If I don't think I have enough of this solid one, I will use this variegated one. And the way I make the pot holders, because you really don't want thin pot holders, right, is I have this white. By the way, these are all cotton thread. So I just double them up, and I crochet with them like this, doubled. And it's a pretty easy pattern. It's not really a pattern. I just start out with as many chains as I need to get it to the width that I want. And the stitch that I use here is a sorry about that. Okay, the stitch that I use here is a half double crochet, which is super fast, super easy, and it's a thick stitch. So this gives me a thick pot holder. I can grab things out of the oven with it without being concerned about getting burnt. So that's what I'm going to do this evening, work on one more. So I will have a total of 6 of these pot holders. So as I get started on this last pot holder here, I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me today. It's always so much more fun when you're with me. I really appreciate your taking some time out of your busy schedules to be with me.